Late one autumn evening, Emma found herself driving along a desolate country road. The air was heavy with mist, and the world beyond her headlights seemed to vanish into an endless grey haze. She had taken a wrong turn hours ago, and her phone had no signal to guide her back. The only sound was the low hum of her car's engine, occasionally interrupted by the crunch of leaves under her tires. As she rounded a bend, her headlights caught a figure standing by the roadside. A woman in a tattered dress, her hair wild and unkempt. The woman's face was pale, her eyes shadowed hollows that stared directly at Emma. Against her better judgment, Emma slowed down and rolled down the window just enough to ask, "Are you okay?" The woman didn't respond. Instead, she raised a hand and pointed into the fog. Emma followed the direction of her finger, but saw nothing but swirling mist. When she turned back, the woman was gone. Emma's heart pounded as she locked her car doors and drove on, faster this time. The road twisted and turned, but no matter how far she drove, the fog thickened, swallowing her headlights entirely. Her chest tightened as she realized she had been driving in circles, passing the same gnarled tree over and over again. Panic setting in, she pulled over and stepped out of the car, the silence pressing down on her. "Hello?" she called out into the void, her voice trembling. Then she heard it, a whisper, faint but unmistakable. It seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. "Turn back." Emma spun around, but no one was there. The whisper came again, louder this time, carrying a sharp edge of urgency. "Turn back. Now." Her instincts screamed at her to leave, but when she reached for her car door, it wouldn't budge. The whispers grew louder, morphing into anguished cries that filled the air around her. Shapes began to form in the fog, shadowy figures with distorted faces and elongated limbs. They moved closer, their mouths gaping wide as they whispered in unison, "You shouldn't have stopped." Emma stumbled backward, her breath coming in short, panicked gasps. She turned to run, but the ground beneath her shifted. She fell to her knees, the fog now wrapping around her like icy hands, pulling her down. The last thing she saw before the world went dark was the pale woman standing in the distance, a sinister smile stretching across her face. When Emma's car was found weeks later, abandoned on that lonely road, her keys were still in the ignition. The driver's seat was empty, and the windows were etched with a single word, scrawled from the inside: "Stay."